So good morning students. In last video we have seen about what are aliphatic amines. In today's video I am going to explain about aromatic amines and their preparations and properties. So first we will discuss about the aromatic amines. So aromatic amines are also known as aniline and its derivatives. Aromatic amines are also known as aniline and its derivatives. So these can be prepared by using several methods, and that the first and most important method is vapor phase reduction. As you know, what is meant by reduction? Reduction is nothing but addition of hydrogen or removal of oxygen in presence of an reducing agent. That is called reduction. Okay, if that reduction takes place, then nitro compound can be converted into aromatic amines. For this reduction, we can use reducing agent as copper oxide or silicon dioxide, or vanadium or platinum can be used as a catalyst. So reducing agent for this reaction is copper oxide or silicon dioxide, or vanadium in platinum can act as a catalyst for the following reaction. So in this case here I am taking the starting material as nitrobenzene. This is nitrobenzene. When nitrobenzene undergo reduction in copper oxide in silica at 680 Kelvin's temperature, you can observe here we have taken a high temperature, because at high temperature only the reaction will takes place. So in presence of all this reaction condition, the nitrobenzene can be reduced into aniline. What happened here? The two oxygens present on the nitro compound take hydrogens can be eliminated as 2H2O, and the remaining two hydrogens can be added to the nitrogen, converts into NH2. Okay, that is known as vapor phase reduction. Now the next important method to prepare aniline is catalytic hydrogenation. So hydrogenation is nothing but addition of hydrogen in presence of a catalyst. Okay, if you add hydrogen, then the process is called hydrogenation. If that addition of hydrogen takes place in presence of catalyst, then that is called catalytic hydrogenation. So that catalytic hydrogenation can also done in presence of a reducing agent. So even here you can observe we are adding hydrogen, then we can consider it as a reduction. For that purpose we can use different types of reducing agent. So hydrogen which is present in a metal, or palladium and carbon, or ethanol can be used as a reducing agent. So for that here I am taking paramethyl nitrobenzene. So when it undergo oral, simply you can also take nitrobenzene, it doesn't matter. So here we have taken paramethyl nitrobenzene or 4-methyl nitrobenzene, okay, as a reactant. When it undergo hydrogenation in presence of palladium and carbon, which can act as one of the reducing agent, in ethanol it can be converted into aniline. What happened again here? The two oxygens present on nitro group takes hydrogens and can be converted into 2H2O. Water is released, and whatever the two hydrogens, extra hydrogens are there, those are added to the nitrogen, converts into NH2. That means here for this total conversion it required totally 3 moles of H2 molecules. When 3 moles of H2 molecules involves in the reaction, to react with oxygen and involved in the releasing of H2O, remaining 1 mole of H2 molecule is added to nitrogen, converts into aniline. This is called 4-methyl aniline, 4-methyl aniline or paramethyl aniline. Okay, that is about the second preparation method. And the third one, ammonolysis of aryl halides. So aryl halides is nothing but we can also call them as aromatic halides. Aromatic halides or aryl halides. So in first chapter we have studied haloalkanes and haloarenes in the case of organic chemistry. So that haloarenes are nothing but aryl halides. We can also call haloarenes as aryl halides. When those aryl halides, in place of halide I have taken chlorine, okay, then we can call it as chlorobenzene. Chlorobenzene. So when this chlorobenzene undergo ammonolysis, ammonolysis is nothing but addition of ammonia, So when we add ammonia to the chlorobenzene or aryl halides in presence of copper oxide and cuprous chloride at 210 degrees Celsius temperature, chlorine is replaced by ammonia. So replacement reaction is nothing but substitution reaction. So here that replacement is taking place with nucleophile. Then we can call substituted nucleophilic aromatic or aryl reaction. Okay, now substitution is taking on an aromatic ring, so we can call it as substitution nucleophilic aryl substituted nucleophilic reaction. Okay, one of the NH2 group replaces this Cl, converts into NH2 present on benzene, which is called as aniline or aromatic amine. Okay, and one more NH3 and one hydrogen was left. That NH3 and H together converts to NH4. To that NH4, this chlorine is added, converts into ammonium chloride as a salt. Okay, so that is about the ammonolysis of aryl halides. When aryl halides undergo ammonolysis, that is replacement with the amine, then it can be converted into aniline. And the next one, that is by phenol and ammonia. Okay, when ammonolysis takes place to phenol, so this we can also call it as ammonolysis of phenol. When ammonolysis takes place to the phenol, again it can be converted into this aniline. Okay, so here we have taken phenol. When phenol reacts with ammonia in presence of zinc chloride is also acting as one of the reducing agent at 300 degrees Celsius temperature. The one hydrogen present here takes OH group and eliminated as H2O, and NH2 group reacts with this benzene ring. So take 1 mole, it's enough. In this 1 mole we can write ammonia as NH2 bond H. NH3 we can also write in this form. OH and hydrogen together eliminates as H2O, that is water molecule. What is left? NH2. That NH2 is added to benzene ring and we will get here aniline. Okay, so finally ammonolysis of phenol is also leads to give aniline as the final product or aromatic amine as the final product. Now we'll see the next one. So here is another method to prepare this aniline by using azo compound. Okay, when you reduce azo compound, again it can be converted into aniline. This is called azo compound. Okay, this is called azo compound. When this azo compound undergo reduction, so reduction is nothing but again addition of hydrogen or removal of oxygen. Anyhow there is no oxygen in azo compound, just addition of hydrogen will takes place at high temperature and pressure, and finally it converts into aniline. So here you can observe in an azo compound between the two nitrogen atom there is a double bond. So such double bond indicates presence of sigma bond and one pi bond. When that pi bond involves in breakage in presence of H2 and nickel, this is called catalytic reduction. Catalytic reduction, because we are adding hydrogen in presence of a catalyst at 315 Kelvin's temperature and 15 atmospheric pressure. So then what happens? Because of breaking this bond, pi bond between the two nitrogen atom, each nitrogen becomes one less valent. So one hydrogen from here is added to nitrogen, another hydrogen is added to the next nitrogen and converts into NH single bond NH. Double bond is converted into single bond. Okay, clear? Now after first reduction, again it undergo one more reaction. When it reacts with HCl gas, and we will get this product as the final one. When the above reactant undergo one more catalytic hydrogenation in presence of same reaction condition, so it can be converted into 2 moles of aniline. Exactly here the bond involves in breakage. Okay, exactly between NH and NH the bond involves in breakage. So here we are adding 2 hydrogens. One hydrogen is added to this nitrogen, another hydrogen is added to the another nitrogen. Then you will get 2 moles of aniline. This NH is converted into NH2. NH is converted into NH2. Even this NH is converted into NH2. Then this becomes one aniline and this becomes one more mole of aniline. That means when azo compound undergo 2 steps of catalytic hydrogenation continuously, then it can be finally converted into aniline. So that means even azo compounds are used in the preparation of aniline. These are the few important preparations of aromatic amines. Okay, now we'll see the next topic. So now we'll discuss about another important nitrogenous compound, that is nothing but diazonium salts. So you have heard about this name in the chapter aromatic aryl halides and aliphatic halides. Okay, so haloalkanes and haloarenes chapter, in that chapter we have discussed about this diazonium salt. So now we will come to know how to prepare this diazonium salts and what are the chemical properties of this diazonium salts. So first we will see how to prepare diazonium salt. So to prepare this diazonium salt, first we want to take this compound. What is this compound? So very familiar compound, which is nothing but aniline. Just now we have discussed about this aniline. When this aniline undergo reaction with sodium nitrate and HCl at 0 to 5 degrees Celsius temperature. This is very low temperature. At cold condition only these diazonium salts are stable. So that we have to take cold bath. In that cold bath, when the sodium nitrate react with HCl in aniline, it finally converts into the less stable diazonium salt. To stabilize this diazonium salt, we have to maintain this temperature in a cold bath. Okay, then we will get finally diazonium salt. So that is C6H5N2Cl. This is called diazonium salt. In this way we can prepare this diazonium salt. This is the only method to prepare diazonium salt from the aniline. When aniline undergo reaction with sodium nitrate and HCl at 0 to 5 degrees Celsius temperature, it can be converted into diazonium salt. Okay, now we'll see about the chemical properties of diazonium salt. So there are several chemical properties of diazonium salt. In that, the first one is diazonium salt when undergo hydrolysis, that is nothing but addition of water. Okay, when water is added to the diazonium salt, so this nitrogen and carbon bond involves in breakage, nitrogen chlorine bond also involves in breakage, then N2 gas is released. N2 gas is released. As you know, in water two ions are present, that is H plus and OH minus. So this H plus ion takes up Cl, can be released in the form of HCl, and OH whatever was left, that react with the phenyl group and converts into phenol. So here we got final product as phenol. Okay, when diazonium salts undergo hydrolysis, loses N2 and HCl gas, and we will get here phenol as the final product. Now the next one, that is reaction with H3PO2. Whenever reaction with H3PO2 takes place, immediately this diazonium salt is completely converted into benzene. Okay, it is completely converted into benzene. So this H3PO3 can separate N2 as well as Cl in the form of HCl, and adding one more hydrogen to the phenyl group, it can be converted into benzene. Okay, that is the reaction of diazonium salt in presence of H3PO2. Next one, reaction with cuprous chloride and HCl. Reaction with cuprous chloride and HCl. So when cuprous chloride and HCl react with this diazonium salt, so this hydrogen takes this Cl, eliminates as HCl, and when bond breaks between nitrogen and chlorine, nitrogen and carbon, it releases N2 gas, and whatever Cl is left, that Cl is added to this benzene ring and we will get chlorobenzene. Okay, the formed product here is said to be chlorobenzene. So this chlorobenzene is obtained as final product when diazonium salt react with cuprous chloride and HCl. When in place of cuprous chloride, if you take cuprous bromide and hydrogen bromide, the same reaction will take place. The same reaction in the sense, the bond breaks between carbon and nitrogen, nitrogen and chlorine, and this N2 gas is released. Plus hydrogen from here and Cl from here react together, eliminates as HCl. What is left here? Bromine. This bromine can be attached to this benzene ring, converts into bromobenzene. Okay, like this different types of chemical properties will take place to the diazonium salt, will give different types of products. And here is one more kind of reactions takes place to the diazonium salt to prepare iodobenzene and fluorobenzene, because iodobenzene, fluorobenzene are not more stable. So to prepare them, we want to take a special reagent. Okay, in general methods cannot be used. If, for example, CuF and HF cannot be taken to convert diazonium salt into iodobenzene or fluorobenzene because that is highly unstable. So we need to take a special reagent to convert diazonium salt into iodobenzene and fluorobenzenes. So here the few other chemical properties are there, that is when diazonium salt react with potassium iodide, so this iodine can be replaced by the azonium salt group and converts into iodobenzene. This is called iodobenzene. In the same manner, when tetrafluoroboric acid react with diazonium salt, converts into fluorobenzene. Okay, when RCM hexafluoride ion, arsenic hexafluoride ion on heating with diazonium salt, again we will get the fluorobenzene. Okay, when KCN react with copper, when KCN react in presence of copper, so this N2 gas and HCl gas is released, cyanide is added to the benzene ring, converts into cyanobenzene. It is called cyanobenzene. Okay, based on the reagent the product also getting changed. So this reaction we know very well, that is reduction of diazonium salt. So reduction of diazonium salt always leads to give aniline as the final product. This is aniline. So reduction, zinc and HCl, excess amounts of HCl which is present in zinc powder is acting as one of the reducing agent. When this reduces diazonium salt, it can be converted into aniline. So that is about the other chemical properties and special properties to synthesize iodobenzene, fluorobenzene and aniline as well as cyanobenzene. Now we will see few more reactions. So next one is coupling reaction. Okay, on coupling reaction, ring biphenyls or double rings are formed as the final products. See, this is diazonium salt. When diazonium salt undergo reaction with copper powder and ethanol, so when it undergo reaction with copper powder and ethanol, it can be converted into biphenyl. Okay, biphenyl is formed as the final product. In the same manner, when diazonium salt react with phenol in presence of base, when diazonium salt react with phenol in presence of base, the hydrogen present at this position, okay, this hydrogen takes this Cl eliminated as HCl. So then this carbon is directly added to the nitrogen and converts into OH, C6H5, N, double bond N, C6H5. So this is another compound which is called as azo dye. Azo coupling reaction, we can call such kind of reactions as azo coupling reactions. In the same manner, when amines undergo, aromatic amine or aniline undergo reaction with this diazonium salt, the same mechanism will repeat. Whatever hydrogen present at para position or ortho meta position, that this hydrogen react with Cl, eliminates as HCl in an acidic medium. Okay, now this dimethyl aromatic amine reacts with this diazonium salt and we will get this azo dye. So Me taken twice, bond C6H5 at this position, nitrogen, double bond nitrogen is added which is present on the C6H5, and finally we got here azo dye. So this is also azo dye and even it is also azo dye. Azo dyes are also prepared by using this diazonium salt. So this is about the synopsis which is related to the different types of chemical reactions and properties present in the amines chapter. Now we will discuss few bits related to this amines chapter. See the first question in your KSET corner. Which one of the following forms propane nitrile as the major product? Propane nitrile is one of the cyanide compound. So which one of the following reaction can form such kind of propane nitrile? First write down propane nitrile product. Propane indicates presence of 3 carbon atoms. Okay, nitrile means which contains one cyanide group. Okay, propane nitrile. Now balance its formula CH3 CH2 Cl. This is called propane nitrile. So to prepare this propane nitrile, what are the reactants we want to take? So we want to take one of the alkyl halide and alcoholic KCN. So alcoholic KCN is constant to prepare this, and you want to prepare that alkyl halide. So that already this alcoholic KCN is containing one carbon, okay, then you need to prefer an alkyl halide which is containing only 2 carbon atoms. So that you have to take here propyl bromide, we should not take because it has 3 carbons. You can take this ethyl bromide or ethyl bromide, but here instead of alcoholic KCN they have given alcoholic AgCN, so it's not our answer. Then in this case, in the fourth one, propyl bromide they have given, again it's not our answer because it has 3 carbons. Already 1 carbon is present in KCN. You want to select the alkyl halide which is containing only 2 carbons. So the answer is the second one. So in this case you can see ethyl bromide. Ethyl bromide formula CH3 CH2Br, ethyl bromide. Now this ethyl bromide when react with alcoholic KCl, it undergo nucleophilic substitution reaction. So K and Br is eliminated as KBr. In place of bromine, cyanide nucleophile is going to replace and we will get the propane nitrile. So our answer is the second one. Okay, now we'll move on to the next bit. So what is the second bit? The substitution reaction in which Cn is replaces Cl. This is the substitution reaction what they have given. RCl plus KCl in alcoholic condition on heating. So what happened? Cl is replaced by Cn. Then we got here RCl, that is cyanides are formed. To obtain propane nitrile, this is in the place of RCN we have to prepare propane nitrile. RCl should be, so this RCl should be which one? So that we want to find out. So in place of propane nitrile, but in Br place they have given Cl. That means we have to select CH3CH2Cl. What is this? Ethyl chloride, or we can also call it as chloropropane. So chloroethane, this is chloro and this is ethane. Chloroethane is obtained. Chloroethane is taken. So in place of RCl, if you take chloroethane, when it reacts with alcoholic KCl, it can be converted into propane nitrile. So we want to take here chloroethane. Okay, if you take propane, we don't get propane nitrile, it is butane nitrile. So we should not prefer this one. 2-chloropropane, again prop indicates 3 carbons, so it is not answer. Methane contains only 1 carbon, so we not get this propane nitrile. So the answer is the chloroethane. Next question. Benzylamine is a stronger base than the aniline because benzylamine is a stronger base than the aniline. So now the question is related to basic nature of aromatic amine. So benzylamine is a stronger base than aniline. This is aniline. Okay, so in benzylamine nitrogen contains lone pair of electrons. In aniline also nitrogen contains lone pair of electrons, whereas in benzylamine the nitrogen lone pair of electrons are freely available for attracting a proton because it is not involved in delocalization, whereas in the case of nitrogen which is containing lone pair of electrons in aniline involves in delocalization, that is resonance, it participates in resonance. So when this lone pair of electrons make a pi bond here, this pi bond moves here, that means it is undergoing keep on resonance or delocalization. That means such lone pair of electrons are not freely available. Such lone pair of electrons are not freely available. If they are freely available, then only they can abstract a proton or readily involves in donation purpose. But such kind of condition is not seen when compared to benzylamine. So that's why benzylamine is greater base or containing stronger basic strength than the aniline. So the answer is the lone pair of electrons in nitrogen benzylamine is delocalized, so it's not answer. The lone pair of electrons on nitrogen atom in aniline. In aniline, this is aniline. In aniline, the lone pair of electrons involved in delocalized. So this is the answer. Okay. So this is the question which is related to basic strength of aniline. Now we'll see the next one. See the next question. Which one of the following gives amine on heating with amide? Okay. Okay, here we are preparing amines by using amide. So then write down amide, R C double bond O NH2. So this is amide. Now it is reacting with some reagent and converts into amine. So amine formula is RNH2. Okay. So which of the following reagents can be used to convert amides into amines, or prepare amines from the amide by reacting with what? So that is nothing but a base which is present, alcoholic base which is present in bromine solution. This is Hofmann bromamide reaction. So that take bromine and alcoholic KOH or NaOH, that is our wish. So but in the reactant, in the options they have given potassium hydroxide, so I have taken here potassium hydroxide. So it is an example of Hofmann bromamide reaction or degradation reaction, we can say. So in this degradation, what happens? The CO group is released. So removed. Then NH2 is directly added to R group and converts into RNH2, that is amine is formed. This CO will take 2 hydrogens, 2 oxygens here and converts into CO3. Totally 4 moles of KOH is required. So CO takes 2 oxygens, converts into CO3, added by 2 potassiums converts into K2CO3, plus 2 more potassiums are there, right? So such 2 more potassium react with the bromine, converts into 2 KBr or releases 2 KBr, plus it releases H2O molecule, 2 moles of H2O. Okay, like this the final product is formed, that is nothing but amine. That means amines are prepared from amide when amide react with bromine in alcoholic KOH. Amine react with bromine on alcoholic KOH. So the answer is the second one. And this reaction is an example of Hofmann bromamide reaction. Now we'll see the next one. An aromatic compound A on reaction with sodium nitrate and HCl at 0 degree Celsius forms benzyl chloride. So that benzyl chloride and nitrogen gas. The number of isomers possible for the compound A is. So first write down the reaction for this information. An aromatic compound A with the molecular formula C7H9N on reacting with NaNO2 and HCl at 0 degree Celsius, it forms benzyl chloride, benzyl alcohol. So some compound react with sodium nitrate and HCl at 0 degree Celsius, it converts into benzyl alcohol. You know benzyl alcohol, C6H5 CH2OH. This is benzyl alcohol. Okay, this is obtained by a compound with the molecular formula C7H9N. C7H9N molecular formula can be written in this manner: C6H5 CH2 NH2. You can observe C7H9N. Okay, so 6 carbons here and 1 here, 7 carbons, H9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 1 nitrogen. So this is the molecular formula for this compound. So when this C7H9N undergo a reaction with sodium nitrate and HCl, we will get this compound at 0 degree Celsius. Now the question is the number of isomers possible for the compound A. This is compound A. For this compound we want to write different possible number of isomers. This is first isomer. Next another isomer is, we can also rearrange this. This is first one. Next second one. Directly you may also attach NH to this and CH3. This is also with the same molecular formula. Okay. So this is secondary amine. And next one. 3 possible isomers we will write: NH2 here and CH3 here. So this is also another possibility with the same molecular formula. Understand? See, you can observe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 carbon, 7, C7H9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 plus 3, 7, 7 plus 2, 9 and 1 nitrogen. Okay, this is at ortho position. If the same methyl group is present at meta position, we will get another isomer. NH2 here, at meta position CH3. If methyl group is present at para position, we will get one more isomer, NH2 and at para position methyl group. So these are the 5 possible isomers. If you write CH3 here, again it is meta. If you write CH3 here, again that is considered as the ortho. So that means the total number of possible isomers, with the molecular formula C7H9N is nothing but totally 5. So the answer is the first one. Now the next question. So sixth question we will discuss. When P react with Grignard reagent followed by hydrolysis, we will get R. So when R undergo reaction with the base on heating converts into 4-methyl pent 3-ene 2-ol. So then what is P? P we want to find out. First, P undergoing reaction. When P undergoes reaction with what? Grignard reagent, CH3MgBr followed by hydrolysis, we will get R. When R undergo reaction with dilute NaOH and on heating, R can be converted into 4-methyl pent 3-ene. Pent indicates presence of 5 carbons. We will write the product first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carbons. Okay. 4-methyl from any one side. First write down the functional group. What is functional group? 2-ol. At second carbon double bond is present. Double bond bow. Okay, now give numbering. First carbon, second carbon, third, fourth, fifth. So 4-methyl. At fourth carbon one methyl group is present. Right here methyl. Okay, 3-ene. At third position double bond. 1, 2, 3 position double bond. Now balance with hydrogens. Okay, so this is CH3 and here the bonds are balanced and here 1, 2, 3 bond. So here hydrogen. Here 1, 2, 3, 4 balanced and here CH3. So this is the final product. What is final product? 4-methyl pent 1, 2, 3, 5 pent 3-ene 2-ol. So how this product is obtained from R, and from P how R is obtained, that we want to find out. Okay, clear? So first we will see step by step. Now first one, if you take here, so total number of carbons should be present in the compound only 5. So not more than that. So that first we want to take a compound. So first in place of P I am taking ethane nitrile, that is CH3 C triple bond N. First it is undergoing reaction with Grignard reagent, CH3MgBr. We know in CH3MgBr the bond breaks between CH3 and Mg. CH3 gets positive charge, Mg gets negative charge, and between nitrogen and carbon, nitrogen is more electronegative. When it take this pi bonded electrons, nitrogen get negative, carbon gets positive. Okay, so Mg is positive, this is negative, sorry. Magnesium is a metal, so it is having positive, CH3 is having negative. Now this CH3 minus is added to C plus, MgBr minus is plus is added to N. So first write down that addition product, CH3 C double bond N, triple bond is converted to double bond, to the carbon methyl group is added, to nitrogen MgBr is added, and we got this addition product. In the same step they have mentioned hydrolysis. When hydrolysis takes place to this one, that is addition of water. That addition of water will take place in presence of an acid. So that together we can also write it as H3O plus. Exactly where we can observe the bond breakage between carbon and nitrogen. Water contains 2 hydrogens and 1 oxygen. Oxygen is added to carbon, hydrogens are added to this nitrogen. Then it releases NH2 MgBr. NH2 MgBr is released. Then CH3 C double bond O, CH3 is obtained. CH3 C double bond O, CH3 is obtained. Okay, that is acetone. Now this acetone undergo reaction with dilute NaOH on heating. So this ketone is containing alpha hydrogen. There is a condition for aldol condensation. Immediately you have to remember aldol condensation whenever you observe a carbonyl compound with a base. or a carbonyl compound with a base. So then immediately you have to recall that aldol condensation. When aldol condensation takes place to the carbonyl compound containing alpha hydrogen, the final product is what? Alpha beta unsaturated aldehyde or ketone. Here we have taken ketone, then the final product is alpha beta unsaturated ketone. Then you will get here CH3, CH3, double bond CH, C double bond O, CH3. So this is what the final product I have written here. The same product I am writing here. So now you just cross check with whether it is alpha beta unsaturated aldehyde or ketone. Okay, this is ketone. So adjacent carbon is alpha, alpha adjacent carbon is beta. Alpha beta position contains double bond, so we can say alpha beta unsaturated ketone is formed as the final product, and IUPAC name what they have mentioned here is also the same one. So the P should be for the formation of this compound is this one, CH3, C triple bond N, that is nothing but ethane nitrile. Two carbons are there, ethane nitrile. So the answer is the third one. Okay, next we'll see the next question. What is next question? One of the following amide will not undergo Hofmann-Bromamide reaction. Why? So to undergo Hofmann-Bromamide reaction, even here we have seen Hofmann-Bromamide reaction. To undergo this Hofmann-Bromamide reaction, it should be a primary amide. Okay, so only primary amide should be undergoing this Hofmann-Bromamide reaction, not other type of amides. Okay, see, this is a primary amide, even this is a primary amide, even this is a primary amide, whereas this one, second option is not a primary amide, it is a secondary amide. So it will not undergo Hofmann-Bromamide reaction, okay, because it is secondary in nature. Now the next one, the formation of cyanohydrins. The formation of cyanohydrins from a ketone is an example of, okay, write down the reaction. So cyanohydrin formation from a ketone. First take ketone general formula R, C double bond O, R dash. When it undergo reaction with cyanide, HCN or KCN you can take. First what happens, pi bond moves here, oxygen get negative charge, carbon gets positive charge, this CN is added to this one, we will get R, C, single bond O minus, R dash, and here CN. Then second step followed by protonation will take place. That proton is added to oxygen. Then we will get R, C, R dash, C and OH. This is called, on the same carbon if cyanide and hydroxyl group is present, this is called cyanohydrin. So in the cyanohydrin formation we can observe the addition of CN minus nucleophile and H plus. So both are addition, but it is initiated by the nucleophile, then we can call it as nucleophilic addition. Nucleophilic addition reaction. Okay, so formation of cyanohydrin is an example of nucleophilic addition reaction. Next, another one, an organic compound A on reduction gives B. Okay, which on reduction with trichloromethane and caustic potash forms C. So the compound C on catalytic reduction gives N-methylbenzenamine. N-methylbenzenamine. The compound A is what? That we want to find out. So first write down the reaction related to the given information. So first A on reduction converts to compound B. B on reaction with trichloromethane and alcoholic potash or caustic potash forms C. C, which on catalytic reduction converts into N-methylbenzenamine. Okay, N-methylbenzenamine. This is N-methylbenzenamine. How this N-methylbenzenamine sorry, is obtained from A. So we want to find out what is A. Okay, A, if first reduction is taking place, right? So on reduction, first it converts into aniline. So in place of A, if you take nitrobenzene, so that nitrobenzene on reduction converts into aniline. Aniline when react with alcoholic, caustic potash and chloroform, it converts into methylated aniline. either at ortho position or at para position, which again on rearrangement, on reduction, it gives N-methyl benzenamine as the final product. So A here is nitrobenzene. So the answer is nitrobenzene. Okay, next one. See the next question. The correct order of increasing basic strength of the ammonia, methylamine and dimethylamine. So first, ammonia is least basic than methylamine. Methylamine is least basic than dimethylamine or secondary amine. This is secondary amine. CH3 taken twice NH. Okay, this is the correct order for these three. So which one is having the correct answer? Second option. Understand? Next one. Gabriel phthalimide synthesis is used in the preparation of primary amines from phthalimide. Which of the following reagents is not used? In that Gabriel phthalimide we can use KOH, NaOH and alkyl halide. We don't use HCl at anywhere. You can observe the reaction I have given in the synopsis. Okay, in Gabriel phthalimide reaction nowhere we can use this HCl. Okay. Next question, which one of the following will be the most stable diazonium salt? So this is aliphatic diazonium salt which is not stable. This is also aliphatic which is not stable. Okay, even it is phenylated diazonium salt which is not stable. Aromatic diazonium salt is always stable than the aliphatic. So the answer is the second one. So now we'll see the 13th bit. Which of the following is more basic than aniline? That we want to find out. First write down the structures. Diphenylamine. So this is first one, diphenylamine. Second one, triphenylamine. This is triphenylamine. Third one, para-nitroaniline. This is aniline which is having a nitro group at para position. And fourth one, benzylamine. Okay, so question is which among the following is more basic than the aniline? So this is not basic, more basic, because lone pair of electrons is involved in delocalization in this ring or as well as in this ring. Even here, lone pair of electrons present on nitrogen is not free. They are involved in delocalization in all the three phenyl groups. Even here, it's not more basic because NO2 is an electron donating, electron withdrawing group. So lone pair of electrons involved in delocalization. Whereas in this case, nitrogen contains a lone pair of electrons which not involved in delocalization because this is connected to the benzene ring by using CH2 group. So it is more basic than the aniline. Answer is the fourth one. Okay, next one. The reaction of benzene diazonium chloride with aniline. This is dye. Benzene diazonium chloride with aniline yields yellow dye. The name of the yellow dye is, okay, first benzene diazonium chloride write down and aniline. Okay, this is aniline and here you can see presence of one hydrogen. All carbons contains one hydrogen. Now I am taking here diazonium salt. Okay, what happened? Hydrogen and chlorine eliminates as HCl. We will get NH2 here, N double bond N, C6H5. We will get this. Okay, this is called para-amino aniline or para-amino benzene. So the answer is the second one. Para-hydroxy not, it's at para position. This is ortho, meta, para. Para position amine group is there. Para-amino benzene is formed. See the next question. Which of the following is least soluble in water? Okay, lower members are soluble in water whereas higher members are least soluble in water. Among all, C6H5NH2 is higher member and aromatic in nature, which will not ready to make hydrogen bond with the water, and it is completely insoluble in water. Okay, this aromatic amine is completely insoluble in water. And next one, are least soluble in water. Next one, if aniline is treated with 1:1 mixture of concentrated HNO3 and concentrated H2SO4, para-nitroaniline and meta-nitroaniline are formed nearly in equal amounts. This is due to, okay, so reaction is when aniline react with 1:1 ratio of HNO3 and H2SO4, it can give para-nitroaniline. This is aniline at para position NO2 group is present, and meta-nitroaniline. This is meta position in almost equal amounts. So this is due to the presence of ring deactivating group at this aniline. Okay, aniline contain NH2 and lone pair of electrons are nitrogen. Whenever it reacts with H2SO4 HNO3, which can act as acids, proton is ready to accept or added to the nitrogen of aniline. Then we will get anilinium ion. This is called anilinium ion. So this anilinium ion can act as one of the ring deactivating group. It can act as one of the ring deactivating group. So because of that reason, okay, it leads to give almost equal amounts of para-nitroaniline and meta-nitroaniline. So the answer is protonation of NH2. Now protonation is taking place to NH2, which causes the formation of deactivation of the benzene ring. So anilinium ion is formed. This is called anilinium ion. So this anilinium ion can act as one of the ring deactivating group. So because of the formation of this ring deactivating group, it leads to give almost equal amounts of para-nitroaniline and meta-nitroaniline. So these are the bits. So the answer is the second one. These are the few bits which I have solved in today's class. You try to solve as many as possible by keeping synopsis whatever I have given in last session and this session. Okay, so based on that synopsis, you try to solve as many as possible questions, then you will be perfect in this chapter. Okay, in next session we will see few more questions.